Hey everybody, welcome to the SkyLounge podcast, episode number 139, and as always, thank you so much for joining me today and listening in. If you are new, welcome. Check out some of the other episodes on the page. All episodes are available on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Music, so make sure you are subscribed so you get notified for a new episode however many fucking times I release an episode. But boys and girls, a bit of a new intro. Let's get right into it. Now, missing Tuesdays, as you know. The last 2 weeks, I haven't really posted an episode on the SkyLounge podcast here. I apologize. I don't really have an excuse. I'm just really trying to reconfigure what I want to do. Because what I'm noticing is I do these things called cruise peruse, believe it or not, boys and girls, where I drive from the east to the west side of town, or however many opportunities I get to just drive between a 15 to 30 minute, time frame. Whenever I get that little window, I try to record and call that a cruise peruse. And I'm figuring out more and more and realizing more and more that I like doing these daily content videos, talking about, the sport from that day or whatever have you. Because right now, we're in the summer months. There's not a lot of, individual club sports that's going on, unless you count baseball, which, boys and girls, I'm not going to fucking review every goddamn baseball game. That's just ludicrous. But I think this whole daily cruise peruse thing, it might become the new podcast. So that's something that I'm just kind of working on right now, boys and girls. But right now, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. We're going to release this on a Wednesday. And as most of you are familiar with, if you have tuned into our episodes prior to 139, in the intro I always say new episodes every Tuesday, but again, I haven't really kept that promise in quite some time, and so just want to let you folks know that right now I feel like there's going to be a transition period where I just try to move things around here and there. And you know what, it's a long time coming. It's been about almost 3 years since we started the podcast. Want to try something new. Want to try something where I can put in consistent levels of work, because this weekly podcast thing, as much as I love it, as much as it's my baby, I don't really input too much effort to it, I feel. And I'm the lesser for it. Everybody who actually wants to listen in, they're the lesser for it. And so we're going to try to figure something out on missing Tuesdays, boys and girls. But I know this isn't like the prototypical topic of the week, and I know I don't really have a nice little closure here, but we're going to figure something out. But in the meanwhile, because the SoundCloud has been pretty barren, I won't lie to you, it's been pretty barren for quite some time. I want you guys to go ahead and check out the SkyLounge YouTube page, okay? It's all the links in the description in these, in this fucking episode. So if you guys want to go ahead and take a look at it, that's where most of the activities that we're doing here goes up. And eventually, before this weekend, I'm going to figure out what I want to do. And if that does mean I'm going to upload daily podcast episodes on the SoundCloud, via converting and shit, which, quite frankly, that seems like a pretty logical thing to do. So I might consider that. And yeah, just be on the lookout for that, boys and girls, while we move on to some sauce. Boys and girls, Cruise Peruse is going to have all these match, game events, more in-depth review, more, so to speak. And from this point forward, I think Cruise Peruse, we're going to try to beef it up and juice it up a little bit more. But in the world of football, aka the world of soccer, there's a lot of great tournaments going on right now. And because we haven't covered or, released an episode in the last 2 weeks, we do have to talk about this. The Champions League final was between Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur. And to say that Tottenham got ass-fucked was nothing short of brilliant. And you know what? There's a part of me that loves Liverpool for doing what they did, because Arsenal got their dick punched in the Europa League final. What are you doing? I got this guy fucking in front of me just slowing the fuck down for whatever fucking reason. Like, fucking go, buddy. Jesus Christ. And so in the Champions League final, you know, Liverpool was able to outlast Tottenham Hotspur. And Tottenham, you know, you guys got nothing. You guys got fucking nothing, and I'm glad you guys got nothing, because you fucking pieces of shit boast and claim about all this crap, but you haven't done anything. You haven't fucking done anything, so shut the fuck up. As for Liverpool, congratulations for winning your 6th Champions League, and congratulations to Chelsea on winning your Europa League title. God damn it, I hate to say it, but like, yeah, Arsenal fucked up. We lost 4-1 in the final. It happens. You know, we suck dick. But in the world of football, you get to move on, right? Your team does this whole sadomasochistic shit all over again. That's why it's a domestic league. But as for international tournaments, it only comes around once in a while. And right now, we got something called the Women's World Cup going on, something that happens every 4 years, boys and girls. And it's been a doozy. All the first day matches have been completed, and it was capped off with a dominant performance by the United States. Now, when I say dominant, I don't mean that word that people just willy-nilly throw around nowadays because, you know, we lack any kind of verbosity or eloquence. But seriously, this was domination from top to bottom. 3-0 at the halftime, and then the match ends 13-0. That's right, I said it. The United States women's national team beat Thailand 13-0, creating the largest margin of victory in World Cup history. So you're gonna fucking tell me that the USA is mean-spirited, all this shit? Go fuck yourself. How about you block those fucking goals? Shut the fuck up, people. Alright? Like, the World Cup isn't about holding hands. It's about who the better team is. Who's the best fucking team out of all the teams there. And the USA, defending champions, you know, winning 13-0 in the group stage just speaks volumes of how serious these ladies are. How serious they want to repeat. And I love it. I love that killer mentality. I want them to keep that up. USA all the way, baby. Now, despite the fact that, yes, I do cheer on the USA, I also, due to the fact that I was born in Korea, cheer for Team Korea. Now, in the Under-20 World Cup, that's right, boys and girls, which happens every 2 years, South Korea, in its first ever World Cup final, will be playing against the Ukraine on Saturday. I'm excited for this, boys and girls. I am extremely excited for the fact that my country is about to go to their first World Cup final. Granted, even an under-20 World Cup final, but hey, second Asian nation to do it. First was Japan. I believe they were runner-ups. But Korea has a chance to make history this Saturday. I can't fucking wait. I can't wait to talk about it next week on the podcast here. I know we just discussed the whole Cruz Peruz thing, but hey, we're still going to talk about it. And go South Korea. I'm fucking excited, man. I'm going to be rocking the jersey, waving the flag, doing all the patriotic shit for South Korea. So be on the lookout for that, boys and girls. I'm going to post some videos up, post some shit up on the YouTube page supporting Team Korea. Now, we got other things like Copa America starting this weekend, and it just only adds to the greatness that is summer soccer. Right before the domestic leagues kick off in, you know, August and, you know, September, and, you know, right before the preseason bullshit, we got all this fun stuff going around. And so, you know, as football fans, be excited, because we're going to get all these tournaments. We're going to get quality tournaments in almost every fucking, you know, sense of the word. And listen, if you're a soccer fan, it's a great time to rejoice, despite domestic leagues not being available. You got some awesome competition that's ahead. You know, Under-20 World Cup final happening this Saturday. You got Copa America happening very soon, this weekend. And you got the Women's World Cup all throughout this month. So rejoice, boys and girls. Football is alive and well. So with that being said, we move on to some actual other football, meaning the NFL, National Football League. There's really only one thing I wanted to talk about, which was the Raiders' appointment to the Hard Knocks series on HBO. This makes total sense. This is an organization hampered by just a lot of question marks right now. Not a lot of people are going to know what the hell's going to happen because of the crazy nature of John Gruden and the entire dynamic of that fucking organization. Mike Mayock, he's a fucking NFL Network analyst guy or an employee, and now he's a fucking general manager. You got Antonio Brown, arguably one of the biggest fucking cancers in the NFL. Siding next to him is the guy who wanted to kill him for all those years, Vontaze Perfect. You also got the quarterback who is, let's just say, ego levels of Blake Bortles despite not having the talents. But he is better than Blake Bortles, I will admit to that. But still, a little bit arrogant on Derek Carr. And just a lot of crazy shit, Richard Incognito. And listen, the Raiders fan base there's a lot of good folks out there. There's a lot of good folks that follow the Raiders, and I feel for them. I sympathize for them. But at the same time, man, like, you fucking people, man, do you not see your organization just being a goddamn shit show at times? And I'm one of those guys that's just watching this like, oh shit, all right, fun things might happen, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna subscribe for HBO now. I'm just gonna fucking watch through like, oh look, previews. Oh, Mike, man, I'm screaming at John Gruden. They're about to fuck each other. Oh, wait, am I confusing Game of Thrones with HBO? HBO's Hard Knocks? I don't know. I might be. Or maybe wishful thinking. Who the fuck knows? But anyways, with all that NFL news being said, let's talk about some great finals that's going on right now and the NBA finals. And, surprisingly, this is a great series. Despite the fact that Toronto has now blown 2 games at home, with Game 5 an ability to close out, with an opportunity to close out the series and win their first ever championship at home. Championship? Yeah, that's right, I said it. Championship. Because the Raptors have been a fucking joke at times whenever you're watching them in these finals. Just down the stretch, just piss poor basketball IQ, allowing Golden State to rob them at home. Twice. On one possession. Really, basically on one possession. So, I have no sympathy for neither teams. I don't. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, both teams deserve a win. Like, no. After all this shit and shenanigans in the first 5 games, I'm like, I hope nobody wins. That's my whole fucking salty ass thing. I'm like, I hope none of you fuckers win. This was just terrible. And it's been bad. And I got my puppy in the back here whining. Baby! Why are you whining? And this is the whining that I'm hearing from all these fan bases, specifically 2 fan bases in each finals for both sports of basketball and hockey. Because, boo fucking who, calls aren't going your way and you haven't won yet. Right? You're going to fucking bitch and complain about it? No. You got to fucking do your job. You got to fight. As for the St. Louis Blues and the Boston Bruins in the Stanley Cup final, with NHL news, boys and girls. Hockey is coming to a close tonight. Tonight, Wednesday, Game 7 will take place 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I'm not going to lie, boys and girls, very excited. Very excited to watch either the Blues or Bruins lift the cup at the end of the evening tonight. And it's going to be really tough, man. I mean, for both sides. I mean, the Bruins have, their game at home, but the Blues, road record has been incredible. Relatively speaking, in the first few games, the first line for Boston hasn't really shown up, but now they're firing kind of on all cylinders. Despite the fact that Blues offense seems a little stifled at times, Ryan O'Reilly is still firing in all cylinders. Jordan Binnington can have a possible bounce-back game, despite the fact that he was pretty piss-poor the last few times out. So, with all that, again, it's going to be a very interesting dynamic to see what we're going to get in this series to top it off in Game 7. And again, we haven't had a Game 7 in about 8 years now. So, it's going to be a real fucking treat. It's going to be a real treat for all the neutral fans. And so, 2 finals that we got going on right now. And, just quality stuff right here. We're just watching some quality shit. And for those of you who just feel, oh man, it's either Boston or fucking St. Louis, I hate both of them. Then don't watch it. Don't fucking watch it then, you complaining pants. Alright? Holy shit. And as sports fans, we always complain. And my Dodgers doing well, but there are times where I look at them and think, you could do a little better. You could do a little better. But that is despite the fact that, we got Corey Seager injured right now. He's going to be out, 4 to 6 weeks, I believe, which was the news that came out this morning. And it's unfortunate because of the fact that, this has been an incredible run by the Dodgers. And for Dodgers fans, it's just the hope of getting back to a World Series, or for me at least, getting to NLCS. Call that lower expectation, but seriously, I want the team to succeed. I want the team to do well. And, Dodgers may deliver. May fucking deliver. But speaking of delivering, the expectations of the masses, the French Open happened over the weekend, over the last few weeks. And my boy, Roger Federer, was bounced out in the semifinals by Rafael Nadal, who went on to win the French Open. Congratulations to Rafa. I can't even hate on him anymore. The guy is excellent. I mean, it's because I'm such a huge Federer fan that I think Federer is just class above everybody else. Even, someone like Pete Sampras, who that's probably a very controversial thing to say, but honestly, Federer has exemplified throughout his tenure in tennis that he is the greatest. Longevity, numbers, everything else, he is just the absolute best. But Rafa wins French Open, and hopefully Roger Federer just keeps it going, because boys and girls, we here at the SkyLounge have to keep going, despite always talking sports shit, loving sports shit. But guys, we got other shit going on. We got some artsy stuff. Weekly writing number 18. I called it What's Going On, Hey Yeah Yeah. Just 3 or 4 sentences as to what's going on, and very stupid writing level, because like I said, man, it's been procrastination on top of procrastination on top of procrastination, trying to figure things out. So with all that stumbling, with all that stuttering, we move on to weekly film number 18, which I've watched weeks ago. And due to my negligence, I haven't rewatched it yet, but rewatch will be imminent. Rocket Man, and I don't really have this dissected down to, our typical plot, character, visual, music, miscellaneous, and all these things, but what I can tell you, I'll just give you the score right now for myself personally, a 9.5 or a 10, easily for me, because this movie, as a musical, it's damn near perfect. It is damn near perfect, where I'm trying to actually scoot in here. Okay, so the movie is damn near perfect in the sense of it takes you along this very simple journey. You're able to follow the story because, musicals are generally explicit. The music is a library of Elton John and Bernie Taupin songs that are timeless, classic, and the one thing that you have to understand and realize about this whole story is that it's a fantasy biopic instead of a regular biopic. So you got a lot of fantastical elements there, but it's always topped off by just excellent levels of acting. I mean, Taron Egerton as Elton John is probably the best performance I've seen from him ever. Bryce Dallas Howard as Elton John's mother, another fantastic role that gets really understated there. Jamie Bell. Hey, Ruckus. Jackass, shut the fuck up. Holy shit. They see a fucking cyclist, they go crazy. And it's just like what Elton John's Rocket Man made me go crazy for was musicals. Hey, shut the fuck up. Fuck. God damn. Shut the fuck up. God, Jesus fucking Christ. I had to silence the puppies there, boys and girls, but Jesus fucking Christ. We got Rocket Man. Rocket Man was a solid movie, and I'd recommend it for anybody, even those who don't like musicals. And the one controversy that this movie gave away to was the fact that it was a first male-on-male sex scene, which pretty much equates to the fact that, it's just missionary with 2 men, no genitals. That's what male-on-male sex means, which is like nothing. Just fucking nothing. Like, dude, like what? Like, you scroll through Pornhub, they'll fucking flash you gay sex. Like, I've seen, like, actual explicit shit. This is nothing. So, for those of you who think this controversy is going to ruin the movie, don't worry, you fucking prudes. It doesn't. It's just part of the fucking story. Part of the storytelling aspect of a great, of a great man in Elton John. And so a lot of fun times had in that movie. And again, I give it a solid 9.5 or a 10 for me. It's a perfect fucking musical. It's like when I watched Les Miserables in, film form, and I thought, wow, this is excellent. This is probably one of the best fucking works I've seen in a long time, and it was. And then Rocket Man comes out, just blows me away. Absolutely fantastic, fantastic stuff from Rocket Man there. And, we got a little derailed here because of the puppies. Now they're terrified because I smacked the back of the cardboard box. Meaning, I actually have a cardboard box set up in my car to separate the front seat and the back seat because my puppies tend to jump overboard to the front. But I usually have music to subdue them down, right? And that's what music plays in our lives. It subdues us down, it gets us a little calm, it gets us a little, sound of mind, so to speak. And for me, the album of the week, number 18, came down to a very old school album that I truly do love. I've listened to this album so many times and kind of got caught up in listening to it again. And it was Tapestry by Carole King. And now, boys and girls, usually when I go through these, I give you the the med track, the favorite track. But honestly, this album is a solid solo journey that you have to just listen to each and every track to understand the kind of mindset of folk back in the early 70s and just not really folk, just pop music, I guess, pop folk. And I don't know, it's just something about trying to pinpoint a man and a favorite track. It just doesn't seem right, and so I just leave you with this. Tapestry by Carole King is a quintessential album of the 70s. Like, you have to listen to that album. It's incredibly good. Like, composition's excellent, so many solid tracks, and you begin to wonder, like, wow, music writing hasn't really evolved so much as it's expanded, right? Like, evolution means you're getting better than what you already were, but clearly, with music these days, in my opinion, it's just quantity over quality. So I like to go back to older albums, older songs, and try to figure things out from there, because so history will repeat itself lest we learn, right? And so that's the whole thing with music history right now. Like, it's just the same garbage shit over and over again, and we just have to learn from the past and just make something better. I don't know. Am I crazy for saying that? Am I a heretic? Am I a racist now? Holy shit. All these sensitive fucks that can't say anything anymore, right? But, speaking of not saying anything anymore, I want to talk about one last thing here on the SCY Lounge podcast, boys and girls, which is just weight loss. Now, the weight experiment I want to go on this month, about 20 days or so, is the whole non-drinking, non-smoking thing, and adding exercise, obviously, and possibly planning meals. So here at the SCY Lounge, we like to guinea pig ourselves, and lately I've been smoking too much, and I finally ran out of my nearly 2-3 month supply. So ready to experiment on the body again. Fun times ahead for you boys and girls, as we also try to figure out how we're going to move on, how we're going to actually start doing this from now on, because I do still want to have a hub podcast like this on every Tuesday, but I also like to give the SoundCloud folks, if you guys do click on here, I want to give you SoundCloud folks just more daily shit, which is the cruise peruse. So I'm going to figure something out within, that range, boys and girls. So stay tuned, because there is going to be more shit, right? And I appreciate all of you guys joining me this week on the SCY Lounge podcast. Make sure to follow me on all the fucking bullshit: YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook. Subscribe for more daily content on the fucking music shits. SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Music. Jesus fucking Christ, man. My outro's terrible, but guys, for now, fuck off.